Okay, here we go. I am Rick, the helpful entrepreneur, and that is Mike, the investor. And welcome back to Hang Out With. And tonight we get a privilege of hanging out with Mike as we talk investing, or at least he talks more about investing. He was on our show, probably about, I don't know, how long ago? A year ago, I think. So got some updates. What do you think? About a year ago?
Yeah, it's probably been
yeah, it's been a while. So let's get some updates. Hopefully everybody jumps on board. We've got some questions for you tonight as well. And let's have some fun tonight for the next hour. So let's get the party started with Mike. Let's go with the first question, which is, when and why did you start as an investor?
Yeah. I still know the date like it's yesterday, man. So the date when I first started investing was April 2019. So
really?
Coming up on 2 years. Yeah. So it's been a little over a year, going on 2 years. And what got me into investing was the main thing was just wanting to take control of my own financial journey and just want to start creating passive income, because granted, I like what I do now, as far as a living, but the end game is not to completely work for corporate America all my life, and that's nothing wrong with that, not knocking it, but I want to kind of enjoy the fruits of my labor, and I think as an investor, we have those opportunities to see certain investments that maybe other people don't get to see that can really change our lives. And that's what really intrigued me.
Absolutely. So what kind of investing, what kind of style of investor are you? Are you doing the dividends? Are you doing the SPACs now they're really hot? Like, what are you involved in? Let's hear it.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm a pretty open-minded investor. So when I very first started investing, I was just, pretty much only dividends, and as I got more comfortable with investing, expanding my knowledge and learning more about how things work, how companies work, I started to dabble into more growth stocks, more SPAC stocks lately. And also I invest a little bit into bonds, and also I'm a huge believer into cryptocurrency as well, where I do have a lot of money invested also.
Awesome.
I'm open, as an investor, I don't think we should be closed-minded, to anything. I'm not just a stock investor, I'm an investor in general, so that's how I like to look at things.
Good. You're well diversified within the markets by the sounds of it. Holy cheese. Good for you. That's amazing. So when did you, so let's talk about the markets first then. Let's see. So your strategy is that you're more diversified in a whole bunch of other areas and whatnot, which is great. Fantastic. How did you get into crypto?
Yeah, so I started investing in crypto March of 2020. And that was during when we seen the big crash during the last time of the regular stock market. Right. And that's when I started investing in crypto, back when Bitcoin was around 5,000 at that time when it dropped. And I started just researching different connections between companies and blockchain, and how there were banks already using this new technology. And so I started researching, I started reading books on it, and just really started educating myself on it. And I started connecting the dots. And I heard about it years ago, but I never, looked into it that much. And now I kind of just, some just piqued my interest. I was like, man, Bitcoin, it's decentralized. It has all these different, mechanisms that went to it. And I just started learning about it. And from there, I just said, man, this is the future. This is the future. And as we start to see certain things come out, we can see, for example, Tesla, one of the newest S&P 500 companies, but they're the first to invest in Bitcoin. Like, come on.
Well, how many billion was that the other day? What was it with Musk? How much did he invest? 1.5 billion?
1.5 billion. So and just to think though, man, to say they're the newest S&P 500 company, and the first to invest in Bitcoin, just let that sink in. You know what I'm saying? Crazy? Yeah, absolutely.
That is crazy. Now, did he explain exactly? I didn't get a chance to get the full gist of the story, but did he explain, get a chance to explain exactly why he did that much of a large of an investment into Bitcoin?
Well,
and not Dogecoin.
Well, now S&P 500 companies, companies can now put Bitcoin on their balance sheets, so they can, they can hold that as, a store value, as an asset, so. Tesla was the kind of the first Indian to go over that hump and say, hey, we're going to add Tesla on our balance sheet. We're going to invest 1.5 billion.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Okay, so you're into crypto. Are you solely into Bitcoin, or have you diversified within the crypto market as well?
Diversified in the crypto market as well, but Bitcoin is one of my largest positions, of course. I think just me personally, I think if you're investing in crypto, I think it's wise to hold a little Bitcoin, even if it's not your
Got it.
biggest position. I just think it's wise to hold a little.
Got it. I own about 5 or 6 other ones: Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Lumens, Litecoin as well, Ripple, even a little bit of Dogecoin for fun. Well, Dogecoin's done the best in the last few months. In the last year, it's been incredible.
Yeah, and it's been doing even better with Elon pumping it.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, did you see the commercial? That was pretty amazing. Dogecoin commercial. That was so well done.
And it's crazy, man, how we just see the adoption rate of crypto starting to take off. And if you kind of see, it all kind of started from, like, people heard about crypto, but think about now, like, the entire world is talking about investing. Everyone is talking about it now. We even have celebrities coming out that didn't even know, and they have millions of dollars and they don't even know what a dividend is. That blows my mind, man. It really does. Like, how are you a millionaire and you don't know what a dividend stock is? Like, Grant, I understand you may not need it, but just it shows that certain people aren't educated in certain spaces. So I was just like, man, the entire world now is talking about stocks and crypto, when everything came from, the short squeeze and the hedge funds against retail investors with GameStop, AMC. All of that got the world involved with, let's become investors because we can make money. And now you can see that, what's the word I'm looking for? That attention on the stock market has now turned to crypto. So you can just start to see adoption is really speeding up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Investing has become cool. That is for sure. I remember Jose at RicoSuave Investing. We were talking, I think it was live actually, and we were talking about this. And he said he was out with his friends one night and he made a really good point. And he said he couldn't talk to any of his friends about investing because nobody was really investing. Like, they just didn't think it was cool. And he was the only one at the table, he said, that was investing amongst his friends. So it's great to get caught up in it now and to really, like, firing on all cylinders and seeing so many other people getting involved in it as well, right? That's great to see. There he is. So how did you learn how to invest?
So one was YouTube videos, and I'm just being honest, man. I mean, YouTube videos, but I also read books as well, like this one, for example. Like, I also read books, read articles. There's certain people you can find that's very credible out there, that can give you good info. Now, definitely, I always would do my due diligence on certain things, or if someone can tell you something, you just go back it up. And if it shows an improvement, is validated, there you go.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can learn on YouTube for investing. Incredible. Books are one thing, but if you're more of a visual person and you enjoy watching, YouTube is incredible for that. I mean, I've always said there's so many great teachers here on YouTube. So, subscribe to the channel. So everybody, get over to Mike's channel, Mike the Investor. Get over there and subscribe. Everybody watching it now or later, get over there and watch his videos, make some great comments, and subscribe for sure. And while you're over there, make sure you guys hit the like button on any of his videos as well. Okay, so again, how did you get the idea to invest? Like, did you have a mentor to teach you, apart from, like, outside of, did you know of anybody in particular? Like, who actually pulled you into the investing world, we'll call it?
Honestly, just seeing other people making money. No one like my dad, my mom, they weren't, like, heavily invested in the market or anything like that. So this was just something I kind of took on myself, and just started. It was just, I just wanted to change my own finances, because I just knew there was a better way than just, clocking in every day, so.
Good for you, man. Good for you for making that investing leap, right?
Yeah, it definitely can be intimidating until you start. Once you start, you're like, man, I should have started this earlier, right?
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it really is. Like, I don't have any tattoos, but I hear it's like getting tattoos. Like, when you get one, you want another one. It's like when you buy one stock, you want to buy them all, right? It's like Pokemon, you got to catch them all, sort of thing, right? It's so fun. So, okay, so how active then are you on the market? Like, how active are you on your portfolio on a daily basis, weekly? How often are you looking at it?
I would definitely say I'm probably looking at it daily.
How
Am
many
I
times?
invested? Not as much as I used to. When I first started, I was always investing. I would say I'm looking more so at the crypto portfolios every day, more so than stocks, just
Right.
because kind of like my dividends are kind of just invest at my certain point, set it and forget it for the most point. And
Yeah.
then I kind of have a growth portfolio where I kind of take profits here and there that I watch pretty frequently, but most of the time I'm watching crypto for the most part,
Yeah.
because that's what's moving the most.
Absolutely. So what are you doing with crypto? Are you just in it for like the long haul mostly? Like you just in there long-term plays and just watching it that way? Because it's so volatile, like blah, 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 or you studying calls and puts. Like what's your strategy on that
Oh
one?
yeah. Oh yeah. So long haul, and to be honest, every crypto I've ever bought and since last year I have not sold. So I'm still holding everything I've purchased. So
No
my
way.
idea is not to, yeah, seriously, man. Like
That's good.
honestly, I'm investing in crypto for life-changing wealth. I'm not here for a few $1,000s where I could have cashed out already, So
Yeah.
the idea is for life-changing wealth. And I believe that's what we have in front of us here today with
Yeah.
crypto. So for me, I'm looking at positions where honestly, everything I'm invested in, I'm up on. So there's nothing I can truly average down on right now that I own. But there is this certain kind of philosophy where if you're up a certain amount and this project or this company is going to be successful long term, then you average up where you're still have your most of your gains. So like say for example, you're up 3, 4, 500%. It's not going to hurt you that much to average up depending on where you're buying at. So I've been kind of looking at that as well, where you can see dips, because yes, we're in a bull market, but we still see dips here and there as we continue to go higher. So
Yeah.
just paying attention to the market, paying attention to new potential projects that could be successful or that has the potential to make a quick profit. Because to be honest with you, there's going to be a lot of coins that won't make it, but you can make quick profit on. So, but you got to be careful. So just throwing that out there.
How many crypto coins are there now? There's got to be.
There's over 10,000.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No. And honestly, there's a handful that's going to make it.
Yeah. Well, I know. And we're invested in like the big 5 or 6, like I said earlier, and that's for our kids. I mean, I bought ours. I bought Bitcoin back in 2013, April of 2013.
Oh my gosh, man. You're a silent assassin over there, Rick.
So yeah, but at that time I didn't even know what I was buying, to be honest. I mean, a buddy of mine, I figured it out. He's another entrepreneur. He's like, I don't know, what do you want to do? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So just a really weird way to buy it. It's like I didn't even know really what it was at first, and the next day it showed up in my blockchain wallet. So I'm like, woohoo! So yeah.
So let me ask you, Rick, and I know this is kind of about me. So let me ask you, when you started seeing gains in Bitcoin, is that what intrigued you to start learning more about it?
Yeah, absolutely. But for me, it was definitely a long-term hold. I was just like, let's see where this goes, because there was so much talk about it when it started really taking off, right? And the applications on it and the blockchain itself. So I started doing some reading up on it, and I thought, let's just see where this is going to go. And I still really believe that we have not even seen it even start. From what I understand, I really believe that there's a massive, massive future ahead of us for this. Hey, Ryan. So yeah, I mean, long-term play. Like I said, for the kids and for fun. So okay, riddle me this. What do you enjoy the most about being an investor then, Mike? What do you enjoy the most?
Man, honestly, making money.
You can't say no that one, eh?
Damn. I mean, pretty simple. I mean, making money. I mean, also build new relationships. I mean, investing has completely changed my life. It just helps me look at things different. You know what I mean? So sometimes you don't buy things you normally would buy, just because now you're an investor. So you just kind of look at things different. Finance is different. You'll rather, instead of maybe getting another new car, you'll rather put that money into a stock or something like that. So just things change.
Isn't that crazy? It's so true, isn't it? It's like, hey man, $10, I can invest that. Why am I buying a round of drinks or whatever? Forget the drinks, get home and invest. it really does
Absolutely.
make you change, eh? It really does make your mentality towards viewing things and what you're spending money on. It's so true. So true. So hang on. I got so many questions for you. Okay, another one. Are you part of an investing group online?
I am not. I am not. I've been asked multiple times. I am currently working on like
You should
a
be.
disc. I know. I know. I'm currently working on trying to put a Discord together, but also there's like so much on my plate right now. I want to make sure before I do it, I can provide the value once it's live for people. So I don't want to put out something and then I can't, give out what I promised. And that's why I'm just being patient with it.
Yeah, you got a wealth of information up here, man, and you could share it and help out other people that are, starting out and whatnot. I mean, that would be incredible. So, yeah, when the time is right for you, absolutely jump on board with one. Definitely, definitely. So, what YouTubers do you follow right now, then?
Man, some of the people I went out with, Ryan Giffins, who's on the channel, so shout out to him. And honestly, I think, and I know this is about me, but if you guys are watching this and you're not following Ryan Giffins, go follow his channel because I think he is truly, truly underrated.
And there he is, right here.
What's up, man? Also, what's up, Ryan? So,
and
but
Dan
yeah,
as well, like everybody.
and honestly, when I first started getting into investing, Bruce Wayne was a channel I watched. I mean, he was fun to watch. He taught you a lot. I mean, a lot of people criticized him for certain stocks he invested in his earlier days, but man, look at him now. You know what I mean? He paved the way for a lot of new investors, for millennial investors. And Ian Puch, the big dividend king himself. I mean, man, hats off to him, man. I salute him. He gives so much free info out there. You have the financial education channel. I mean, man, you could just go on and on. I mean, you have J Mac who's blew up. He's known as the SPAC guy now, So I mean, shout out to J Mac as well. I mean, there's so many channels that are that's blowing up out here. It's good to know that you was a part of that, to see them where they were kind of where you guys were kind of on the same level playing field. And sometimes someone takes off, and that's okay. That's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? To see someone constantly growing and progressing, because we all have our own journey. So, I mean, it's definitely a good feeling. It's definitely a good feeling.
Wild, eh? So wild. It is. It's wild to see everybody else doing well and, learning from everybody else and also giving back and helping out other people grow. It's an incredible feeling, eh? Incredible for the community. It really is. So tell me something that you're really proud of.
I would say the idea when I started YouTube was to document my journey and to help other people.
Got it.
When you get messages, personal messages where someone takes the time out their day and say, hey, Mike, you helped me make this amount of money because I watched your video. Honestly, that makes me feel good, really good, because it's not about the boasting. It's not about bragging. It's honestly gratitude to show, because that's the whole idea of the channel. That's why we're doing this now. Me and you are talking. It's to help other people that are listening. So for someone to say, hey, Mike, or hey, Rick, or hey, Mr. Investor, or Mrs. Investor, you helped me make this amount of money because I watched your video and you showed me this. That's powerful, man. They didn't even have to pay for that. That's powerful, and that's the beauty of it. That's what I'm most proud of.
Yeah, I love it. I love hearing that. I love that. That's so cool. Okay, all good's got the first question of the night. If anybody else got any questions for Mike, put them at the comments on the side. I'll try and get them up. Okay, so what platform do you use to invest in crypto? She's totally new to it. Any suggestions?
So Voyager, Coinbase are the two friendliest. I would highly recommend to look at Voyager. I would say if you can get on it now, there is a waiting list, but I would say if you can get on it. What's that?
Really? It's a waiting list to get on it?
Oh yeah, man. You should see if you get a second.
No way.
I put out a video today on the Voyager token and my personal position on it. I just spent $500 on it. And I kind of give a price prediction and I show some news about how many downloads that it's had. It had 250 downloads in 3 days. It's the number 18th app in the world. It just came out. So I mean, if you look at the adoption of crypto, December 2020 alone, Voyager did 200,000 transactions and trades.
Whoa, hello.
No. Check this out, Rick. If that blew your socks off, January of this year, 2021, just 1 year later, they did 1 million in trades. They did over 800. So that can show you how much this company is growing. So that's why there's a waiting list.
How long is the infamous question? How long is the waiting list?
I have no idea.
Nobody knows.
I was able to get in before everything blew up, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Holy cheese, eh? Holy cheese. Like there's actually a waiting list. So I use the exchange Kraken. I've got a blockchain wallet as well. And I use CoinSquare here in Canada.
Nice.
So those are mine. So hopefully all good. Hopefully that helps you out.
Also, I would say also, if you can, try to use a ledger. I know it's probably foreign to you right now, but look up a ledger. You can also, inside of Ledger Live, you can also buy and trade and convert your crypto inside of Ledger without actually taking your crypto off of leaving it from your personal wallet. So it's beneficial.
Nice. So Ryan says, go to bitcoin.com, get a Bitcoin wallet, and you can buy Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash there. There you go. I love it. The community all coming together with information to help out one another. Fantastic. So as an investor, what's one of your greatest challenges you find?
Not wanting to invest in everything. Just picking a few companies or a few projects and saying, hey, stick with these and then go into something else. That's what I would say, because as an investor, you get to research in all these companies and it's like, man, you only got so much money. You can't invest in everything, so really just picking those investments or cryptocurrencies and just sticking with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So how much due diligence do you do on each?
I would say a lot. I always look at the team. I'm always looking, if we're talking stocks, I'm looking at the balance sheets, the assets, the liabilities, the revenue, the profit, the company. I'm always looking at the connections based off of what banks are currently buying them, what connections do they have with other companies, are they part of the future based off of where the world is going. So those are the things I look at, and to me, I've been successful doing that. So
good for you. All good says thank you very much. And you showed us one book earlier. Show us two more books. What are your top 3 books that you enjoy the most for investing?
Oh, man.
Hey, if it's a tough question, you can always say pass.
No. I gotta give you something, man. I gotta give you something for the crypto people. Definitely, I will highly recommend. It looks thick, but it is an easy read. Trust me. It would blow your mind about crypto and Bitcoin. It'll really it'll break down things and let you know what's the potential of cryptocurrency and blockchain, and it will help you make sense of what's happening now today. So
see the book again, Crypto Revolution?
Yep, it's by Brian Paul.
Got it.
Yep.
Awesome. Good. That's good for crypto. Anything else?
Honestly, I wouldn't necessarily say necessarily an investment book, but it can tie into that. It's a self-development book, helps you kind of how to think, not keep up with the Joneses. Millionaire Next Door, a big favorite of mine, really big favorite. Also, man, of course, if you haven't read Rich Dad Poor Dad, what are you doing? You got to read it. I got a lot of books, man. I can go on and on.
Good books. I love them. Good for you, Mike. So what's the best piece of investing advice that someone has given you that you probably live by on a daily basis?
Stay consistent.
Yeah. Good.
Because honestly, that's how I've seen the growth. Definitely, if you look at dividends, for example, there's a certain point where you can just kind of let the dividends itself reinvest in it and grow itself. But you have to stay consistent and build that up how often you're investing, whether that's weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, however the frequency is, you have to stay consistent on that path. As long as you do that, it will constantly grow that snowball. So, for example, dividend investing, you've got to stay consistent to grow that into passive income. So I would just say staying consistent.
Got it. Cool. Good advice. What's your definition of being successful?
Man, Successful for me would be, I'm trying to put it in words to sum it all up. I would say successful would be, you know, accomplishing goals that I've set out for myself, being able to, which one of those would be working for myself, having the sense of being wealthy in your own sense of financial status. Because I think wealthy and success is different for everyone, because everyone wants things different. Everyone financial status is different. Everyone needs less or more to live off of. So just being able to have my own assets, you know, pay for my family's our living and our leisures in life as well. You know, that's what we're investing for now, you know, to live that life like no other, you know. So like Dave Ramsey said it best, you got to do the things now that no one else does so you can live a life like no one else does later, you know.
Absolutely.
That's what you got to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Totally agree. Thanks for joining us, CJ, all the way from the UK. Holy moly. It's late over there.
CJ, what's up, brother?
Hey, man. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody joining us. Go and check out everybody else's channels and subscribe to them, guys. That'd be great. And while you guys are here, if you guys could hit the like button, that would be greatly appreciated as well. That'd be so great. Gratitude galore on that one. All right, next question. Do you ever plan upon retiring? You're young for it still, but still.
You said, do I ever plan on retiring?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I plan on retiring when I get to the point where I don't have to work anymore. Whereas what I'm doing now, it's fine, but it's not the end game. So honestly, my retirement for me would be staying in corporate America. I no longer have to go into work if I don't want to.
Right.
I pretty much have my security blanket now. So that's kind of like my retirement. Even if I, you know, had assets that's paying for everything, I'm still going to be doing something in life, like YouTube or something. You know, I'm not just going to sit around. So I'm always somebody that's going to be working. So even if I have all my bills paid, I'm still going to be doing something to stay active. You know, so I wouldn't be never really retired.
Yeah, good for you. Because we were talking earlier, and you say, you know, you're working in a job that you really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, that's something that I think 75% of the population can't say about their jobs. Right. It's really sad. So you're doing what you're doing. That's amazing, man. Good for you. You know, and doing this on the outside, like, holy geez, good for you. That's amazing. So describe yourself 5 years from now.
Business owner, very successful YouTuber, public speaker, motivator.
Good. Like it. You want to get out there and start motivating others and like get on the circuit and start, you know, doing a little tour of speaking, motivating people that way, or on YouTube motivating?
Both.
You know what? You got the voice for it, Mike. You got to get out there.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
You're doing an amazing job on YouTube as well, but to get out there and, you know, talk in front of the people on stage would be cool as well, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm all in due time. Things are kind of definitely on the hold right now, kind of with the pandemic and everything. Not everything is open, but man, definitely I would love to, man. Love to.
Yeah. All right. Another question, Mike. I use Stash. I'm in utilities. Is that good? What do you think?
Yeah. I think honestly, I used to use Stash and then I switched from Stash and switch my money I had in Stash over to a different platform. And not that I don't think Stash is a good platform. I think it is. I think it's really good for newer investors as well. Very safe, very secure. Never had any situations with Stash. But I just wanted to invest in other type of securities that are a little bit more riskier. And since Stash is a little bit more for beginner investors, they didn't offer certain investments like penny stocks and things like that. And that's the reason why I switched from Stash. But I think Stash is a great platform. I actually still have the account open on Stash. There's nothing really in it. I got like one share app in there, but there's nothing in there. It's just kind of sitting there because it's open, but that's it.
Nice. Thanks for the question, Vern. And we have Alex as well. Blood Fans of 81. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Let's see. Thanks for joining, Mike. And 23KC. Yo, there you go, Mike. Awesome. Thanks for joining us, guys. This is really cool. If you guys have any questions for Mike, post them over the side. on the comments there, and we'll definitely get them to answer them for you. So how do you plan? What's your bigger plan about growing your portfolio over the next few years?
So a plan for me is growth. And that's why I started dabbling into growth stocks. It's to grow, because dividend preserves your cash and gives you cash flow, but growth stocks catapult your portfolio and growth. So for example, it took me, and I'm just being transparent, and if you go back on YouTube, you can see it as well. But I started my stash portfolio at $30, and I started investing $5 every week. This was just my second portfolio, not the main one, but just the second one I wanted to just kind of grow.
Yeah.
Started at $5 a week. A couple months later, I moved it to $10, $15, and then I was investing $20 a week. So from 1 year,
Wait, that's so cool. That's amazing.
It is. And I did that to let people know you don't have to have the most amount of money to invest. You got to just start somewhere. Like me, I only started with a couple $100 when I first started investing. Now I got 5-figure accounts. You know what I mean? And I don't have a financial advisor. I do this myself. And you can too. And that's the beauty of YouTube, us showing our journey, us showing that, hey, you can do this too. There's only 54% of Americans that's invested in the stock market, and 1% in crypto. That's mind blowing. You know what I mean? So we really got to get that number up, man. We really do.
Yeah, absolutely. And your YouTube channel is helping them. So good job, buddy. Good job. Okay, we got a couple of questions here for you. So Vern's Junk Closet is also saying, what is another platform, if you care to share? That's for the crypto, I think, or just general investing altogether.
If we're talking stocks, Webull, Charles Schwab, Fidelity. I would say the main 3 platforms I use now, and I know I may get some hash on this, but Robinhood, I still use Webull, and I use Charles Schwab. So those are the 3 stock brokerages that I use. And then for crypto, that I actually have crypto on will be Coinbase, Voyager, and Uphold. And then 80% of my crypto I keep offline on a ledger. So that's just kind of how I do my things.
Nice information overload. I love it. All right. So next, Alex, what are some ways you're thinking of increasing your income? That's his biggest hurdle right now. Great question, Alex. Thanks.
He said, what was the question again, Rick? I'm sorry.
What are some ways you're thinking of increasing your income? That's his biggest hurdle right now.
Well, you definitely have side hustles. If you're thinking about, for me, what I've been kind of doing, I've been dabbling into options a little bit, which helps you gain a little bit of extra money weekly and monthly. That's a good way to do it. Secondly, swing trading. So definitely do your due diligence, but I've been able to call out a lot of home run plays lately, such as, Nokia, BlackBerry, IDnomics. There's quite a few companies I've talked about that's done really well here in the future, so I would say, definitely look at them and just do your own due diligence. But I would say swing trading, I've been able to grow my portfolio pretty quick. The growth portfolio, I've been able to grow from 1,600 to $5,000 in 2 months. And that's just from kind of rinsing and repeating. Now, I haven't showed that publicly because I kind of got away from showing just my personal things all the time, because I've noticed that most people don't want to see that as much, so yeah, when I get my Patreon up and going, I'm gonna definitely show more of that to the people that support me. So definitely it's not gonna go away. I'm gonna show you guys that when I start the Patreon up. But what I've been doing is option trading and swing trading. Has definitely helped me grow growth and extra cash, and just not be greedy. So with the growth stocks, if you're up 20, 50%, take profits. Find another play. There's always money in the market. I mean, there's always money in the market wherever you're looking. If there's something down, trust me, there's money being made somewhere. You just got to know where to look. Yeah. And then when it comes to the crypto part, I'm not swing trading my crypto. I'm just pretty much adding to crypto on the dips. So when I see it's at a decent buying point, I'm buying and adding to my position. And that's what I'm doing for crypto. Crypto's a long haul for me. Yeah. Now I do have certain positions in crypto that I'm buying to completely cash out on when it hits a certain number for a certain amount of money. But for the most part, I'm just stacking my crypto.
Good for you, man. Love it. I love it. It's good for you, man. That's awesome. So how do you deal with the red days on the market, the bloodbath days? How do you deal with that?
I got over that actually pretty quick. And I think it helped me get over that is because I started off as being more of a dividend investor.
Right.
And the reason why I say that is because with growth stocks, they're great. They're wonderful for growth. But if you're no longer up on that position, the only way to get money from that asset is to sell it. All
Yeah.
right. Which now creates a what? A tax event. Right. And so with dividends, yes, they are still taxed, but even if you're down on that position, you are still gaining cash that you can reinvest into that same position to grow it or into other positions to grow it. So when it was down, I just always looked at I can now add more cash to my passive income slot at a cheaper price. And that's kind of how I looked at it. And definitely it maybe took me 6 months to kind of get over having red days because I always was like, man, is something wrong? And I just kind of got over it. This is what really helped change my mind. And I believe Warren Buffett said it as well. You have to look at stocks, you have to look at them as a company because that's truly what we're investing in. We're not investing into a ticker symbol with the price that's just moving up and down. That's not what we're investing in. We're investing into a company. So just for example, in retail, you can have a store that has a goal to say, we got to do 100 sales for the day. Well, let's say the store's open 10 hours for the day. And let's say they knock out those 100 sales in the first 6 hours. Well, if you take that on the stock chart, the first morning of the day, it's going to be pumping green, right?
Yep.
During the afternoon, because business has slowed down, which quote unquote in the stock world will be volume, the stock's going to start going down. That doesn't mean the company is doing bad. And there's always peaks and values. I mean, there's always peaks and valleys, so I always look at it as you have to look at the company and you have to know what you own. And I also understood quickly is there's certain news out there where it's good or bad is here to drive the market one way or another. Same with the stock. If you don't know what you own, negative news will make you sell every time.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to know what you own and do your due diligence. Because if you know this is bad news, you say, hey, they just gave me a better option to buy on a company I know is going up. That's just like when negative news come out with Facebook, Apple, Microsoft. These companies aren't going anywhere, man. Use those as buying opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's good days and there's bad days for companies, right? So, I mean, you're investing in a company. You got to trudge on through. It might take ages, right? So just hang in there, know what you've invested in, and hang in there most often. Don't let them get you down those red days. So, All Good's got a question for you. What ticker symbols do you swing trade? There's your next question for you, Mike.
It's kind of a loaded question. Yeah, it's kind of a loaded question. I mean, it's not.
You got a few hours.
I mean, it's not a. It's not a particular stock I swing trade. It's just stocks I've been able to make money on. Sundale Growers, Nokia, BlackBerry. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few I can name. I mean, and when I say swing trade, typically, I mean, you're holding a stock for maybe a week to 2 weeks. You're getting into a position. You're taking profits at 20, 50%, maybe 100%, depending on your stomach of volatility. And then you get out, don't be greedy. And that's just kind of what I'm doing, finding the best plays. But I'm doing that in the plays that I believe are going to be the future. For example, we have, renewable energy, EV, of course, which is so hot, cannabis, AI, blockchain, artificial intelligence, fintech. We have all these different gaming. So if you're looking at these companies that are invested in the future, it lowers your risk on industries that are going to be obsolete.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. First got a question. What amount should you start to invest in crypto?
What was that, Rick? I'm sorry.
What amount should you start to invest in crypto?
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Whatever you can. I would say this. So, and I have family members and associates and stuff that I talk with as well. I would say for example, you invest $500 into stocks or crypto, and let's say an unexpected expense comes up, and you don't have $500, to take care of that, and now you need to take it out of your investments. Don't invest that $500. Maybe invest $250 or $100 to start off. because you want to still make sure the idea is to be able to grow your assets and your investments. You want to have an emergency fund. So that way, when unexpected things happen, car trouble or just whatever, life happens. So, but if you have an emergency fund that'll take care of that, you always have your money to keep going into your investments. So I wouldn't look at always per se starting off with the most amount. Start off with what you're comfortable with and stay consistent with that. So say maybe you were thinking about doing 500, but say you can stay consistent with $100 every 2 weeks. Do that. And the reason why is because you're going to grow it a lot faster. You know what I mean? So stay consistent and try to figure out what's the most and cheapest amount you can invest in without hurting yourself that you can stay consistent with. And that's how you grow. Not going into the most amount, but just what can you invest the most amount at without hurting yourself and be consistent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Victor from Toronto has your next question. Do you play SPACs? And what are your favorite SPACs these days?
I was going to say absolutely. So you probably haven't watched any of my videos, but absolutely.
Victor's going to run over right now and subscribe. Don't worry. He's going to watch your last 50 videos for you as well. Like on every one of them. So don't worry about it.
Yes, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll tell you one of the most hype SPACs I am on right now is CCIV. And that is the company who is Churchill Capital. And it is the company who is potentially taking Lucid Motors public. All right. So
it's been a while, man. It's been a while. They've been holding the secret for a while now.
I know, but honestly, man, I bought in so low. I mean, I'm up so much on it, you know, so I'm just kind of chilling and waiting.
Yeah, no kidding. Enjoy the ride. It's a little down today, but you know, it's still it's exciting. It's fun. So
yeah.
And what else? What else are you involved in the SPAC market?
CCIV, APXT. We had HCAC. And I'm just trying to name some right off the top of my head here. Man, you get to talking about all these companies. I forget what companies I done did videos on sometimes. I'm like, man, did I talk about that company? I
did. Hey, Mike, you're at a party. He might tell a joke, and you're like, you leave the party, you're like, oh, I got 500. Yeah, SPACs are fun right now, aren't they?
They're really, man. And they are fun. And honestly, man, I don't want to say this and sound bad, but it's almost too easy money with SPACs right now in certain instances. I mean, granted, it's slowed down a little bit, but if we just look at maybe 2-3 months ago, man, you could just almost throw your money into an EV play and it went up.
Yep.
you know?
Absolutely.
And so, yeah.
Now it's a bit more challenging. You got to do your DD all the time. All right. So Alex, Blood Phantom 81 has got your next question. What are you thinking for the peak of this current Bitcoin run? 100K?
Honestly, you said it, man. I definitely see Bitcoin hitting 100K at this peak. I see Ethereum potentially at, if Bitcoin hits 100K, I see Ethereum at 5,000 to 10,000. Hands down, easy.
Beautiful. Nice to hear. What are some of the mistakes that you've made in the past that you wish that you could have avoided?
I would say sometimes trusting your own due diligence.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is sometimes, you know, you get into a position and then you sell out and you're like, man, why did I sell that? And now it's just doing so good and now you can't catch it, or you have to buy in at such a high premium compared to where you were. It's like, man, I don't even want to buy it anymore, right? You know, so I would say sometimes just sticking to your guns, and if you know you got a good investment and you did your homework, stick with it. Because more than not, I've had that pan out for me than not pan out for me, where I end up selling out of a position too early and then it truly takes off. You know, very rarely, suddenly where I've sold out of position and it just tanked. That's haven't really happened to me.
Interesting. Okay, so what are some of your strengths that makes you a good investor? What habits, characteristics do you have that you would say makes you a great investor? What do you think?
Yeah, I would say patience, due diligence, following the money. I think following the money without knowing all the fundamentals, And me, I'm not a chart guy. I don't follow the charts. I don't say, okay, you got to buy at this resistant level. That's
Right.
never been my forte. And I don't knock it because I know a lot of people and I got family who make good money swing trading that way. I just never been my forte. And I've been able to make great money by just researching and following the money. If you see these companies are buying millions and millions of shares, what's that tell you? They know something, you know?
Yep. Absolutely. When you see Kathy Woods there investing big time, you're like, hello, what's going on? So, all right, somebody's new to investing. They approach you. What bits of advice do you give them?
First thing I would say, trust the process, not the result, not the results. Have a plan, have fun with it, be willing to change, adapt, and always remember that your journey is your journey. Because as you start YouTube, you're gonna make new friends, you're gonna meet new acquaintances. You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna see people. You're gonna see people that may potentially start before you and may take off before you. It's going to happen, but you got to understand your journey is your journey. And so that's the main thing I would tell people. Just understand where you are, why you started YouTube, and stick to your guns, because I think we all have our story, but not everyone wants to tell it. And I think, some people say YouTube is oversaturated. Well, I think anything is oversaturated when you try to be someone else. But if you're being yourself, it's not oversaturated. There's only one Rick. There's only one Mike the Investor. There's only one Ryan. There's only one J Mac. There's only Rico. You know what I'm saying? There's only one of us. But if you're trying to be someone else, that's when you lose yourself in the process. So I would truly recommend, just stay to yourself, understand why you started YouTube, and have fun with it. And understand that YouTube is powerful. I went from doubling my YouTube income in a month in 30 days. So
Beautiful.
YouTube is powerful, man. It truly is. And
Yeah.
before YouTube started paying me, I was making money from partnerships, from affiliate marketing before I got monetized. So that's the power of YouTube. You can truly open up so many doors. I've been able to build relationships with CEOs with certain companies just because of YouTube, and that's the power. It's not always per se about the views, about the money, but it's about what you can unlock with YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to segue into your YouTube channel in just a minute. And Victor's got a question. What websites do you use to find out stocks that big companies are buying?
You can go to Seeking Alpha, but one place I like to go to is CNN Insider. Now, you do got to kind of navigate through the website a little bit, but it tells you based off of the last quarter what banks and what financial institutions are buying these companies. And it tells you how much. So it tells you who's selling and who's buying. And right there kind of gives you a segue of who's in there. Because think about it. Say you got BlackRock, you got Vanguard. If you got those one of the two largest financial institutions investing in that should tell you something. They're giving them the stamp of approval. You know what I mean? So still do your due diligence, but right there should help validate certain things. And that's one thing I would do is that's where I go to kind of find out who's buying into what, who's selling. Tip ranks you can also go to, but some of these websites you got to pay for the premiums like Seeking Alpha, Tip ranks, but you can go to CNN Insider for free and it'll tell you what institutions are buying and selling.
Got it. Excellent. All right, YouTube. How long ago did you start your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I started YouTube June 2019. So it was a couple months after I started my investing journey.
Got it. And why did you start it?
I started YouTube to first document my own journey to help keep me structured and on path and consistent.
Nice.
And then it turned into me wanting to share my journey and help other people.
Awesome.
And now here we are.
And here we are. No kidding. So Mike and I were talking about, you being a YouTuber or whatnot, and he made a really good point. And then that is, you don't know what it's like to be a father until you have a kid. And you don't know really what it's like to be a real YouTube creator until you have a channel.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? This is true. I got an older sister. She started a YouTube channel here recently, and she's getting it off the ground and growing pretty good.
Hang on, whoa, what's the name of the channel? Let's go check it out.
It is, let me put it here in the
comments.
Yeah. Let me see if I can.
And let's go on in there and all check it out. And if we like it, everybody subscribe to it.
It's not an investing channel though, so it's mainly for kind of like the women. So if women like hair products and stuff like that, it'd be awesome for you. But she told me, she was like, I never knew how much went into YouTube editing, recording until I started, and so
Yep.
There you go.
Crazy. So we were saying earlier, so when you first started making your YouTube your YouTube videos, it was taking you how long to do a video from start to finish? How many hours?
Yeah, so when I first started, it took me about 6 to 7 hours, and I was recording to editing to then uploading to YouTube. And now it takes me about 2.5 to 3 hours. So I've definitely cut that time down a lot.
That's amazing. So what are you using for editing? How did you speed things up?
I use Final Cut Pro on my MacBook, and honestly, what I've just found different tips and tricks. As you edit and as you start recording, you start to learn. All right, I'm starting to just talk a lot. So then to just be quiet. Or, for example, when I first started recording, I would just leave the camera on the entire time. Whereas you can shoot in segments and not make your editing so long. Or as you start speaking, you get better with your speaking. So now you make less mistakes. I've also got better with planning my videos. So now my videos just kind of go smooth. So I'm hitting one section after another where I'm not kind of fumbling through the video, making it longer. So just finding different segments. I also got some presets that I use as well that I have, in there. So, I mean, just as you go through the journey, you learn these different things to really help you catapult your speed. That's just kind of what I've been able to do. I have my lighting already set. So when I'm able to record, I just turn them on, so that saves time, so there's just different things you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What's the bigger picture with your YouTube channel?
Yeah, the bigger picture would be for this to not only YouTube, but YouTube and what YouTube helps unlock for me will be to help provide a living for my family and I.
Nice.
It's the end game.
Nice. How do you come up with your content? Does it wake you up at 3 a.m. and you go, hey, that's a great idea, that's a great topic? Or you're just walking down the street and like, how do you come up with your topics?
Yeah, so it's weird because sometimes I get them based off of kind of what's trending, what's hot, or or a lot of times I'll try to make a video on what's hot, but what hasn't been really talked about a lot. Or this is one thing I do as well. Now, granted, not everyone thinks like this, but say, for example, there may be a stock I wanted to talk about, but say someone that I know in the financial community already has made a video on that. Just me personally, I like to let that creator get their shine. I don't want to go and now make a video on that same exact, you know what I mean? Like if it's a specific company, I'm not going to do that. If it's a topic like, say, when Robinhood happened, every investor was saying, man, I might leave Robinhood. That's completely different. But when everyone's just talking about the same old stock, they can hear from a million channels. Why do I need to talk about it? So when I talk about something bigger, I try to bring something that's hot, but that's a different stock or crypto that people really haven't been hip to just yet. And that's what I try to do because I don't want to piggyback off of other creators, or if they've already beat me to that video, hey, let them have their shine. That's just kind of how I am, man. But not everyone thinks like that, but that's just me.
Absolutely. Vern, very nice of you to connect to Mike's sister's channel. Very nice of you. And your comment earlier, yes, YouTube is work. Holy mackerel. That is for sure. Jeez, tell me about it. So you've done extremely well. Your channel's been growing immensely. It's that exponential curve all of a sudden you had. It took off. What made it blow up? What do you think it was?
Honestly, man, this is when I noticed the true growth is when I switched my content.
No way.
Seriously, man. When I stopped, as I mentioned a little bit earlier in this interview here, when I stopped showing more, when I stopped showing less of like my personal portfolio and stopped talking as much about dividends, because think about a lot of the people that's coming into investing now, they don't care about dividends. They want to make money now. And that happens with growth stocks. Same as with crypto. Crypto moves so fast. 10 times faster than the stock market. So the volatility is crazy in crypto. So if you know what you're doing or you're a swing trader with charts, you can make a ton of money in crypto because of the volatility.
Yeah.
Well, with stocks, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I think that's a great comment you just made. Like seriously, like moving into people are here to find money and will want fast money, right? And obviously, if you change it, and obviously you proved it. You're doing amazing. You've done great, right? So you just changing that content to that where it's more gravitating for people to come and follow you more often. Like how often? How many times are you posting a video? Once a week?
No, I'm honestly, it's anywhere from two to three videos a week.
Holy jeez, Mike, that's incredible. That's incredible. Good for you, man. But obviously, you're a proven model. It works, and you're growing. How many subscribers do you have now? Do you know?
I don't honestly.
Anybody? Everybody, go and check out. First one gets a prize from Mike. Investing advice. That's your prize. Post it on the side. Who's the first one? I'm gonna guess 6,700.
That's close. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me look.
No way. How did I know that?
Vernon just posted 7K. It says 7K.
Nice. Good for you, man. That's amazing. That's amazing. So you started seeing it once you changed your content. You just thought that, okay, hang on, I've latched on to something. I mean, it's cool to see. I mean, I think there's so many people in our community that have slightly altered, tweaked up their channels. And if that's, and all of a sudden it just takes off. And that's what happens most often, right? I mean, there's so many people we talk about. Ryan's is taking off right now. Dan's taking off. I mean, look at Keenan Grace. I mean, his is taking off. It's like everybody's is taking off. That's so cool to see. Cody, thanks a lot for joining us, buddy. Yeah, it's incredible. It's really neat, man. But it does come, like Vern said earlier, it comes with a lot of work, man. It does. It really does.
It's rewarding, though. It is. It's rewarding.
Yeah. It is. So what's the best part of you being a YouTube creator? What do you enjoy the most about it?
Man, honestly, man, I'm at peace. Like some days, man, like say you may have a rougher day at work. It could have been a rough day at work. Man, I come home, put the lights on the camera, and I'm good to go.
That's cool.
I truly enjoy, the process of it. I even like editing. Like there's some YouTubers who hate the editing process. And some people are like, man, well, how can you be a YouTuber if you hate the editing process? It's the love of YouTube. It's the love of being a content creator, So I enjoy the editing process because granted, what you record is still what you have to edit, but that editing is really where that magic happens. You know what I mean? That's where you put those finishing touches on it.
Yeah, it's so cool to hear you say that. You enjoy editing. I mean, that's you should hire yourself out, your services. I don't know many content creators that really do enjoy the editing process. I mean, I don't, but if you can actually say you really do, that's fantastic.
Yeah, overall, I enjoy it. Granted, there's times where it can be a monster, but overall, I enjoy the process of it.
That's really cool. Really, really cool. Vern says she enjoys your in YouTube, and my chatters are the best. Well, get on over there and check out Vern's channel, everybody. Go and subscribe to her channel.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So what do you enjoy? Sorry, I enjoy the worst. What do you dislike about being a YouTuber?
That's a good question.
Thanks.
I don't know. I don't know. That's hard. I don't know if there's one thing that really just is stands out like a sore thumb. Yeah.
It's good, man. It's good that you're so positive on all this.
Yeah, I mean, I always try to look at the glass half full, because I mean, there's always something negative you can say about it. You know what I mean? So I mean, I look at the positives, and I think the positives outweigh the negatives for YouTube. Just my personal opinion, So that's what I focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. What tips would you give any other content creator right now on YouTube to help them out? Like any general tips, or anybody starting new on YouTube, what bits of advice would you give them right now?
Yeah, I would say pay attention to what gets results on your channel based off of when you're putting videos out, when you're making certain thumbnails. Pay attention to what content gets more views. And that way, when you get more views, you're not just going through the motions. You're actually paying attention to detail. And you're like, okay, this works, this doesn't work. And that's how I've been able to keep growing my channel a little bit, because I noticed that, hey, when I talk about this type of content, people want to hear more of this compared to this content. But if I just kept going through the motions and never paid attention or didn't care about it, I probably would kind of still been a little stagnant. And then also, I think as well, some people say you do have to make content for your viewers. And I think when you truly enjoy the process, you enjoy the content you do make. Because I will say this, when I first started doing even more research, so when I'm talking about certain companies now, I do a lot more research on it when I'm putting a video out. And the reason why is because I'm just a firm believer of, if you're going to be talking about a company, even though people should know to do their own due diligence, you definitely need to be on point when talking about a company and promoting it to the world. So when I'm talking about something, I try to be thorough and I try to make it very easy for people to understand, because sometimes I think as we grow and get more knowledge in investing, sometimes we are too technical with what we're speaking on. And I try to make sure I'm still being easy to follow. And that's what I try to do.
Yeah. Awesome. Good for you. Well, we just went over the 1 hour mark. Holy geez. I said between 45 minutes and an hour. That was fast.
It was.
So yeah, if anybody's got any questions, throw them out for Mike right now. And if not, then we'll start doing some closing comments, and that's really about, we'll start wrapping it up. You gotta get to work tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Busy work day. You got some investing. You're a busy guy then. You're doing the investing, you're doing the work, and you're doing the YouTube creating stuff. Holy cheese.
Yeah, I'll be planning some more content when we get off of here. So I'm always working, man. I'm one of those people, I'm up late and I'm up early. So I can be up till 2, 3, and then I'm back up at 7. No problem.
Are you serious? 5 hours? You're pop up now, eh? I love it. I love it. Are you one of those guys that just lies awake in the morning going, okay, come on, morning, let's go. I gotta get out, jump out of bed.
No, not that much.
Oh, I am still. It's like, come on, let's go. Jump. Can't wait, man. Can't wait to get out of bed some mornings. Hey, Jamie, thanks for joining us. From working, we're creating content. Yeah, no kidding. Mike is like the content creator. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's my wife there.
Nice. There you go. Hey, thanks for joining. So she can verify that you are up late and up early as well, eh? That's so cool. That's so cool. Hey, everybody, thanks a lot for joining us. And all good as always. And everybody else that joined us, thanks for the comments. It's been a lot of fun this past hour. This is really cool. I'm going to try and do this again next Tuesday as well with another guest. So, hey, any questions or anything you'd like to say, Mike? Hey, to wrap it up with, what would you like to say to everybody?
Thanks for everyone for watching, man. Show Rick some support, and everyone that showed me some support on the channel. Thank you. And Rick, once again, congrats on everything you're doing. And I do like the Send a Big Smile movement that you got going on. So I haven't got a chance to tell you in person, face to face. So
thanks so much. It's hard to hide money rocks and mini smiles in the snow here.
Yeah.
So I'm putting a bit of a hold on them right now, to be honest. But I got the team here. They're all ready to go. As soon as spring starts happening, these puppies, I'm going to go with Niagara Falls next. I'm going to drop one of these off at Niagara Falls. It's going to be worth $100. So watch out for this one, people. This one's got Niagara Falls written all over it. There you go. So as soon as the snow melts, Mike, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you saying that. It's really, really cool. I haven't been able to do much on it, but yes, and I'm going to get you on as a team member right after this, and I'm going to throw you some swag as well right after this too. So Mike is talking about sendabigSmile.com. So anybody watching, go and check it out if you get a chance. So pretty cool. But yeah, hey, you know what? Thanks a lot for being on here, Mike. Really enjoyed talking to you as always. Like I said, it was probably a year ago. It's been too long. Great to pretty proud of you.
We'll make sure we won't wait this long next time.
No kidding, eh? No kidding. Pretty proud of you for doing so well like you are and staying so to the community, helping out the community, and all your amazing content and everything that you do and whatnot is giving back as an investor. That is really, really cool. That's what it's all about. It's what life's all about. The bigger picture is like helping out others. making a team and growing together, and going into life as a team. It makes things a lot much or easier. And you have amazing content. So anybody still watching, go and check out Mike's channel, subscribe to it. Check out anybody else's channels on the side here and subscribe to theirs as well. So,
once again, thanks, brother.
Anytime, buddy. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for having us in your houses tonight. Really do appreciate it. And stay safe. This pandemic is almost finished. All right, guys. Have a great night, everybody.